Right. The team is back, eagerly looking forward to previewing a 12-race card for Saturday. Hello, Lance. Hello, Piere.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
We're good. We're good. A little bit of housekeeping. Lance, you've got a fantastic offer this week, which we'll talk about later. You guys are probably watching this on Facebook, but you can also follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So just do that. Doesn't cost you anything, but at least you get the notifications when the videos are out. And they are very, very popular, as you all know. So, guys, are you looking forward to Saturday?
I am. I think it's a nice card, difficult card. I'm really looking forward to it. I think we'll be nice and busy.
Striker?
Yeah, from a rights point of view, not a good card, but hoping.
It's a strategy in some people's case. You know what I mean? Hope.
You got to have hope. If you don't have hope, you got nothing.
Well, if you don't have hope, you might as well have Joanna, right?
Yeah.
Right, let's get going because it's 12 races. We'll start off in the first race. Juvenile plate. We've got on Lance's website, we've got a 4-1 on shot. So 4-1 on for the novices is a 1-4 shot, whispering death. Overs Cadovers, I'm thinking, guys.
It's the right price. It's the worthy favorite. The opposition is weak. The betting suggests what it suggests, that she'll be very hard to beat. He'll be very hard to beat, but the second favorite's not without a chance. Ideal Summer. And obviously Royal Jacket is not without a chance. They're 5 and 6 lengths off their first run. So this price is too cramped for my money, I must be honest.
Yeah, you wouldn't be betting this horse, Piere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, you can't go against it. It's drawn one. It's had 2 runs.
Yeah.
You know, juveniles, you want a horse to have experience, number one. You want a horse to have had some runs where after every run, a horse strengthens up. And it's had 2 runs. It's won its second start. It's just got everything in its favour. I mean, I can't see anything. Even if the other horses make improvement, Whispering Death has still got improvement to make as well. Very hard.
Hence the price.
Just watch the race, I think. Don't even include. Only bad can come out of it if it gets beaten. You put it in a double.
I'm coming into work late, so it's fine.
Just let it run, let it win, and
whatever happens. I'll be there for the second.
That's our advice in that race. Don't put it in your doubles just in case. It's a juvenile. Anything can happen, right?
Yeah, that's my opinion.
Race 2, cracking little race. The SA Fillies Nursery. We'll let Piere go first here because.
We'd like the betting though, to give us an indication.
Betting's easy, China. One Fine Winter, 18-10. Glastonbury, 9-4. Elegantrix, just over 5-2. Golden Palm, just under 4-1. Arasi, 5-1. Clarewood Rose, 18-1. And Hot Cocoa, 8,040-1.
Does that help you, Piere?
Yeah, look, it gives an indication of what you guys are thinking, Well, I mean, obviously these are juveniles, but, the Greyhounds, everything they've stepped out in P have come out to win. They even raided Kenilworth, and probably the best quality horses are in Cape Town at the moment, and won with ease. The fact that they would bring a horse all the way from P to Joburg, you have to respect Greef. They've got quality horses. He never just travels for nothing. His horses always run well when he travels, and he brings horse up with a chance. So I think Golden Palm, huge respect. Glastonbury, I mean, it won its 2 out of 3, and last time was in the feature. So you got to respect that. And then Clarewood Rose, 1 start, one win. Sure. I don't know. I'm going to go with Glastonbury just because it's 3 starts, 2 wins. I'm leaning towards Glastonbury in an open race.
Lance?
Okay, Sean's not going to like me for what I'm going to say, but I don't particularly like the favorite. And I know everybody's saying, gee, that's the first time Lance has tipped the horse of Sean's that he doesn't like. But I don't think it's a worthy favorite, me personally. I think this race has chances everywhere you look. The PE horse I respect. I agree with what Piere Strydom saying. He's not going to bring him for fun. It's a long trip. He's obviously a decent enough horse, or she's a decent enough filly. But I do have a fancy here in a very competitive race. Elegantrix came back in distance. Now it's back to the 6 furlong, or just short of the 6 furlong, where she broke her maiden. She's the horse to beat, in my opinion, in a very, very competitive race. I think the favorite's good value to lay as a bookmaker in a race with so many horses with chances.
I agree. And so I can't have One Fine Winter at all. Just so you guys know, the day that Golden Palm won her maiden, if we use Form Grids as LBH tool, she technically finished 1 3/4 lengths in front of a 5-year-old mare when you overlap the sprints. This horse can run. The only thing probably is the trip up to Joburg for a young 2-year-old filly, but Alan knows what he's doing. So for me, I think Golden Palm would be the horse I would bet. And then definitely Tony Peters, Arashi. Definitely. For me, I think she will finish in front of, she's run against Colts. She's won a race. She's beaten Colts before. Arashi for me, Golden Palm to beat Arashi. I'm going against One Fine Winter. I can't have Elegantrix. I can't have Clearwood Rose. I'm firm on that. Right.
Hell of a race.
Great race. Yeah. Oh, no, I'd love to own any of the horses. Don't get me wrong.
Hell of a race.
From a punting perspective.
Just to back up Elegantrix last run, if you watch the replay, as they jumped out the starting stalls, she jumped to the right and went, like, sort of veered off the track almost.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and lost quite a bit of ground, and then had to come back to the outside and you know, towards a better going. So jumping in cost her, moving all the way back to the outside.
Boys, I'm going to go early doors here. Overs, Skidovers.
I think
Overs.
Elegantrix, you're right.
Overs, Skidovers. Never mind. You just reminded me of that.
Geniuses are assuming she doesn't do that again.
She's not going to do it again.
Oh,
Second run, third run.
I'm not sure if she
never
was
did it on her first start.
I think the others jumped into her, and then she.
Well, that's why they watch this podcast, because we come at it from so many.
I'll be shocked if Arashi beats Elegantrix. I'll be shocked. Shocked.
Well,
as Eric says, he'll go back to panel beating if
Arashi. I heard load shedding started again in South Africa, so there's no chance of you getting shocked.
No, we're good.
Right.
Okay, I'm strong on Elegantrix in a very, very nice race.
Okay, let me get to race 3. Esteemed even money, Green Diamond 7-2, 4-1 King Harold, 9-2 Charming Cheetah, 7-1 Tina Lovelace, Porridge Boy 35-1. Not since Horse Chestnut have we had a horse being spoken about so much from the De Kock yard as Esteemed was before its debut, a mere 7 days ago, and duly delivered. Would I be taking even money 7 days later? I'll let Mr. Lance Michael go first.
Well, if you take even money, you're getting the best price in the country, because it's 7-10 on the nationwide betting. So tells you what I think of the horse's chances. Okay. I mean, it was very impressive. Can't beat that. I owned the half sister with Gerald Khalil called RBD. So the family's a good family. I tell you what, if it wins this race, all the chatter that you've been hearing over the last 7 days is worth every single ounce of it, because this is a top field. The 5 of Sean Terry's Green Diamond is so fast on its first run. I was very impressed with King Harold, who's related to Lucky Lad, on that first run. Charming Cheetah's form line is unbelievably strong. So I must be honest, if a steam trots up in this race, it's something really, really special. So I'm going to play against the steam, and I'm going to play quite heavily against
Yeah.
Yeah, the concern has to be esteemed having his first run and then a week later straight into a feature. I think it's asking a lot. A lot of people say it won easy. It was like a gallop, but it's still a race. He looks like he's a long, striding, lanky type of horse. Maybe he needs ground in time. So this being his second run, will he have the speed, the pace to keep up with them? It's guesswork. Charming Cheetah spoke to Andrew Fortune. He's very impressed with this horse. He thinks it's a top horse. King Harold, strong form. In a difficult race, I can't say what I'm leaning towards. But if you had to push me, I would say King Harold.
Okay. So
I'll
I'm
race 1
first.
point to King Harold. Sorry, Joey. Race 1 point to King Harold. So
Yeah,
if
100%.
that horse runs race 2. If Glaston, who's the horse that ran King Harold? Raishi runs a bomb race, King Harold's very, very much more alive than it is already.
For those guys watching now, I just want to give you a little bit of education about how horse racing works. So esteemed, Lance told us, I mean, it took him 4 seconds to tell us that he's got the half-sister Ivy League. Is that right?
100%.
You never mentioned the other one, the half-brother, Badge of Honor, who never ran a
Where?
place. You never mentioned the other
No,
one,
I didn't.
Home James, who never ran a
Who's
place.
that out of? Who's that out of?
You know, we only ever talk about the good ones. We talk about the ones that are thumped 100 lengths.
Okay, this is a Rafif and we were a Water Winter. What were the others out of?
A Badge of Honor was a Rafif. Home
Oh, my
James was a
word.
soft falling rain. Passing
Gee
Storm
whiz.
was a soft falling rain. These horses couldn't get out of their own way, some of them, to be honest.
Yeah, so maybe of late she's become a bit of a
Maybe
mare.
the
Who
mares
knows?
come well. Hey,
Yes.
Richmond, we love you, man. Don't worry about it. Listen, for me, I can't have it. 7 days, I can't have it. I like the way Charming Cheetah won its debut. The way Rachel brought it through horses for a 2-year-old, the way it ran, I like the way Charming Cheetah won. We'll see how One Fine Winter runs. That might enhance or not the Charming Cheetah form. I think it's a 2-horse race. Charming Cheetah, King Harold, and like Lance says, if Esteemed wins, then obviously way, way above average colt. But no, I'd like to see it happening first. Right, let's shoot on to race 4 quickly. And for some reason, 4 Racing have managed to put on 3 fantastic races to start, and then a fillies and mares MR76
The next 2 races are atrocious.
Just to get the blood boiling for the pick 6, which I'm sure they're going to tell us is going to reach 50 million. I'll go first here. If you're taking a pick 6, you really, really want to be putting a lot of horses in here. I've gone through this race over and over again, and I can't put my finger on anything. If I had to perhaps go for a horse each way, I'd go for Waishong's Divine Moonlight. But only because Ryan's riding well and the Mowing stable seems to be hitting the board a bit more. But this is a really, really tough race, and I'd go with as many horses as you can. That's my opinion in this race. Piere?
Yeah, I actually saw that my horses Take Your Place is favourite, and I don't know how these bookmakers actually price up, because we know that the inside draw at Turffontein is the worst draw. You have to be on the outside.
Yeah.
If it's a small field, maybe 8, 9, 10 runners, you can still get away with it. But when you start looking at 15 runners and you've drawn 3, you're basically right on the inside, which is supposed to be the worst going.
Yeah.
We've had so much rain, so any water that starts draining automatically drains towards the inside, because the outside is higher than the inside. So it dries it dries quicker from the outside to the inside. So you have to lean towards a horse that's drawn on the outside. And for that reason, I'm going to lean again towards Quasi Cat, just because at least it's drawn 8 and not
Yeah.
1 or 3. I'm also putting in my other horse is There She Goes. Once again, got at least some form and drawn 9. Last time couldn't get a run, and she seemed quite unlucky. And Waya Moy's stable seems to have made a bit of a turn, so that could be the nice value in this race.
Well, There She Goes, Piere, is with Lance Michael's website, is at 12 to 1. That's a great price.
Great price. For
Yeah,
also
great price.
lucky last time. And what price is Quasi Cat?
Quasi Cat, Lance has
5
got
to 1.
at about 5 to 1.
5 to 1, okay. Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, 1.7 length beating, and she was drawn 4. Now she's drawn on the outside.
Yeah.
Plus, she couldn't get a run. A lot going for this time round.
Yeah, 100%. No, it makes sense. Absolutely. Lance?
Yeah, there's not much I'm really going to add, guys. It's a tough race. The horses drawn on the outside have a distinct advantage. So I do agree with Piere. I respect the 1. I respect the 4. And I respect the horse on the other page as well. There She Goes in a very, very tough race.
Yeah.
I could never stick my neck out here. If you can afford it, load up.
Yeah, load up. Okay, let's move on to race 5. I think pretty much the same applies.
Same story.
Yeah. In race 5, they bet, Lance is betting 4 to 1 Palace Dancer, 4 to 1 Press On Regardless, 4 to 1 After Hours. That gives you straight away an indication of how open the race is. Again, if you can, I would load up. The only thing that works the opposite here is on the 1400, you do really want to be drawn a bit lower.
Inside.
Yeah.
So the draws are key, yeah. You got to take your hat off to St. John Gray, what he's done with After Hours. I mean, it's won its 10 races, but it is drawn badly. Very competitive race. There's nothing here that I could honestly tip anybody with any confidence.
Yeah.
The 2 won yesterday, and it has a 2 runs, 1 win record at the track. So if he takes its place or she takes her place, I think she could go in again. I must be quite honest.
Yeah.
That's Palace Dancer.
Will Palace Dancer run again? That's obviously the big question. She's drawn well, and she won nicely yesterday. So if she takes a place, huge runner off a good draw, 1400, good draw, vital here. You lose so much ground to try and overcome your draw, and that's for that reason. I'm cutting it down to 3 horses, even though it's a handicap, which is normally quite difficult. I'm going to go with Palace Dancer if she runs. I'm going to put in Champimpi, also from a good draw, and he's had some good runs. And then I'm going to put in Pressure Regardless. I know it's drawn a little bit on the wide side, but it was quite a good run last time in a fairly strong race. So Champimpi, Pressure Regardless, Palace Dancer, in my opinion, a 3-horse race.
And I am going to, if I'm forced to make a selection here, I'm going to go for a big priced horse, mostly for the quartets. Also only ran 4 days ago, but Capola for me, Mark Khan, Jared Penny, drawn 6, massive price. As I say, it would have run 4 days before. It ran behind Princess Hilaria. It was a big price, but I watched the race, and this horse could just follow up. Hasn't got the worst. I mean, it's a weak field. Obviously, it's a weak field, but it's run behind Potberry in a MR80 over 1450s. Not a bad run. It's run behind Run for Cover in a 1450. Is not a bad run in a merit-rated 80 race. This is a merit-rated 82, but it only carries 56 kilos. 4-year-old, 36 to 1. I put that in quartets. Let's move on to race 6. Let's go with Lance first. The features kick in now, Lance, and
Yeah, this is the Empress Club. It's a really, really nice renewal, although I thought it may be a
beautiful.
bit stronger. I'm strong on the young horses, Joey. I'm not sure why Pierre's not on Fatal Flaw. Can you maybe elaborate?
57 kilograms.
Okay, well, that was short and sweet. Um, I'm strong on Fatal Flaw. My only concern is it well? I see it was scratched the other day.
Yeah,
But
she had a bad draw. She was
it
drawn up
wasn't her well-being.
14 out of 14 when the initial entries came out, and it was over 1800. So it was just asking a bit much from her.
Okay, then I'm very strong on her. I thought maybe she had a flu or a nasal discharge. I don't know. But all I know is that's my first choice. But the other 2 3-year-olds will follow her home. And if I had to choose, I'll go 7-6-5. Not mad about Spumante Dolce. I know there were excuses last time, but for me, the Fatal Flaw, 13 out of 13, Phillies Guineas win, although Piere had a lot to do with that, in my opinion, stands out head and shoulders over the other 2. Yeah. So if that filly comes to the racecourse, that's what will win. Short and sweet.
okay. So I disagree. I'll go second. In a 7-horse field, probably one of the better 3-year-old fillies in the country will finally get the run of the race. And VJ's Angel for me, overs Cadovers. Overs Cadovers. Piere?
Yeah, I can't say it's over Cadovers, but I'm going to sort of lean in your camp. It's older horses against the young horses. This is not a handicap. You can see it's a plate race. So the best weighted horses are the younger horses. And those are represented by obviously Spumante Dolce, VJ's Angel, and Fatal Flaw. Now, if you go through a run with Quid Pro Quo has beaten Fatal Flaw every time, 2-3 lengths, without any excuses.
Yeah.
But VJ's Angel finished just in front of Quid Pro Quo. Admittedly, Quid Pro Quo, we didn't jump well. We were sitting at the back. But VJ's Angel sat behind us and was able to beat Quid Pro Quo. So, in my opinion, the 2 horses with a stronger form line between Spumante Dolce and VJ's Angel. If you look at VJ's Angel, she didn't have a luck in running. It's a smaller field now. She's got a better draw. She could just by the size of the field, be a little bit closer and have the run race, and she could come through. So I'm going to go my first choice, VJ's Angel, from Spumante Dolce, even though she's got more scope for improvement, and then Fatal Flaw, my third choice.
Perfect. Race 7. The computer form sprint. How many times have you won this race, Piere?
I've been very lucky. It's one of my big races, I think 5 or 6 times.
Unbelievable, eh?
But can't get a ride, eh? Terrible.
Oh, terrible. How many times did Senor Santa beat you?
He won 3, so he must have beat him at least once or twice.
Yeah.
Can't remember.
He was all right, wasn't he? You must have won this race for Buddy Maroon, eh?
Could be. Yes.
So many winners, who can remember?
Even for Yvette Bremner, I won on a PE.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I've won a couple.
Okay, well, seeing as you are the computer form sprint king, and you don't have a ride in the race, and you could have got a ride at any weight, which horse would you have asked for?
Well, if you want politics and taking all of that out the way, I would have definitely gone for William Robertson. Firstly, he's the best handicapped horse in the race.
Yeah.
The track's soft. He's always struggled a bit over 1,000 meters, but with the soft track, it makes it more stamina. And when you start looking at the opposition, what is in the race? Like the 5th best weighted horse is Cruise Control, comes all the way from PE. Has he got the ability to beat William Robertson? I don't think so. The next above him is Malech.
Yeah.
I don't think so either. So you're leaving it 3 horses: William Robertson, Golden Sickle, and Lucky Lad. Lucky Lad is coming back to your 1,000 meter, and he always battles for a bit of speed. He's been going over a mile and all that. So now coming back to your 1,000, I know it's sticky going, but he might just not be able to keep up with the pace, and he's drawn on the inside. So that eliminates him. Golden Sickle, also drawn towards the inside. She's held on form, and for that reason, William Robertson, very hard to beat. It's 1,000 meters, so don't forget, if you don't jump well, you could lose the race. But if he jumps well and everything works out well, banker for the day, William Robertson.
Yeah, and Lance's Soccershop.bet, who will give us a great offer just now, have got William Robertson at around about the 14 to 10 mark. There's been a lot of money for Lucky Lad. I can't have it. I don't understand. That horse has campaigned over more distances than I've had breakfast. I don't understand. And I don't think he can win over 5. I think a horse that can run at them, but it's got a bad draw, would be Time for Orchids. It's a really, really, really race that for me looks absolutely teed up for William Robertson, and that's where I'm also going to end up, because everything else has just got question marks, and he doesn't. Whatever's happened to this horse in his last 6-7 starts, it's just he's turned the corner, and yeah, I could agree with Pierre. He could be the banker for the day. So William Robertson for me as well. Lance?
He's always been a top horse, and I can't actually believe that they've only put this horse over 5 furlong 3 times, and he's won once and run second once. So
Is that William Robertson?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I checked on him last year before, I think. In
They
a
put him over 2,000 meters this horse once, by the way.
Yeah. You know why? Because he's not a good starter. He's a very long striding horse. So he's actually outpaced in the early stages, and that's why he's bet over 1,200. So he's not really a 1,000-meter horse.
Yeah.
But I think 2 reasons. We've had a lot of the track's tougher in stamina, and number 2, he seems to be striding out a lot better. So maybe they found a problem with his soundness, and I think that's turned him. But he's better over 1,200 than 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, his race record would tell you that, but his 1,000-meter win on Classic Day was ultra impressive. You can't fault it, and everything in his favor here today. He's got the draw, he's got the weight, and he's got the form. So if he is to get beat, he's going to get beat at odds on, because that's where he's going to go.
Yeah.
And very hard to find a horse to beat him. Lucky Lad is going to have to come back to his very best and fly, and I still think that's too short, 1,000 meters. And then Golden Sickle on the dice run has to have some sort of chance, but at the weights, going to battle. So
look,
very hard to beat.
The last time William Robertson ran in the computer form sprint, right? The going was good. He got thumped 2 lengths by Isivungu Vungu, and he beat Princess Color by a short head. I mean, this is a good horse. So yeah.
No, this is a serious race.
Yeah, serious.
And he deserves a Group 1. I don't think he's got a Group 1 yet.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
But
really there's always the Summer Cup, Corne. If you're watching, you can still go back to the 2000 later on in the year. Just joking. They put him over. Put him over distance. I'm sorry. He should get it. We hope he gets it on Saturday, don't we? I hope he gets it on Saturday.
Yeah, he's deserved of a Group 1. This horse.
Absolutely.
He's such a good horse.
Absolutely.
And his last win was emphatic, so hard to oppose. But
100%.
Racing's racing.
Racing's racing. Right. Let's get on to race number 8, the Premier's Champion Challenge. And if I look at this race, I'm just saying, I'm a little bit disappointed, because I don't think we've got a really good renewal of this race. And I don't know why.
No visitors, 0 visitors.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Well, we've got Royal Victory coming up from Durban.
And we got
Gareth bringing up.
Yeah. I take that back, sorry.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, for me, for a 2 million rand grade 1 race, it doesn't look like a vintage. It's like I'm not overly excited about this race, if that makes any sense. But we will digress. We will try and decipher it. So, Lance, maybe you can go first.
Happy to go first. It's to reiterate, I agree with you on the renewal. I don't think it's the strongest renewal. You know, there have been champions that have won this award, Eagle. You know, these are top horses. Royal Victory loves Turffontein. He's kind of got it to do at the weights, but he's really got a chance. He's got his boy back up on him, Boozy. So I do respect him, but I'm very, very strong on a horse here called Purple Picture.
Sure.
It's had a perfect prep. It's well weighted. It's just for me. It ran second in the Summer Cup. I'm very, very strong on it. I see no negatives there. I'm not that keen on the young horse Fire Attack. His last run was very good, but I've question marked the Confederate form line. So that'll be tested tomorrow. I don't, in my opinion, think it's going to be great. Not for any other reason except the fact that it was run in the dirt, it was wet, but it could easily win. But I'm not mad about it, and I'm going to take my chances there. And I do respect Van Sale's horse. Is Ima Lexa Taduma. I think it has got an outside chance, and Atticus Finch is my next best. But I am very, very strong on Purple Picture to win this race, with one or two others like Atticus Finch and Royal Victory to follow it up.
Piere?
Yeah, I'm going to lean very much towards Lance's input here. I think the two horses that should fight it as Royal Victory and Purple Picture, just on class and ability and merit rating. Atticus Finch would be just below them, but it's his first run coming back from Cape Town. And, you know, we've had a lot of rain and fitness is a problem here. And I think Purple Picture has probably got, like Lance says, a perfect prep. Royal Victory's had his preps in Durban, and he's done this before, the same route apparently. So I'm going to go with Royal Victory and Purple Picture. Fire Attack, it is a concern. Obviously, the handicappers can't get the merit rating perfect all the time. So, but I always do take into consideration their outlook on form. I mean, these guys, it's their business. They get paid to do it. So they definitely have some idea, and I actually pick my rise according to them. So Fire Attack, the 3-year-olds, colts at this stage seem to be below these top older horses. And Fire Attack is actually not well handicapped in this race. The fact that he's
drawn 11.
Drawn 11 out of 11 doesn't help his chances either. For that reason, I'm going to go with Purple Picture, Royal Victory, and maybe Fire Attack to run home into a third place because he can make improvement as a young horse.
Yeah, it's a tough race because like I said, it's not vintage, and it's not as if we can go, okay, well, this really looks like it's progressive, and so I feel like we're trying to look for faith in horses that have run in the past, and hopefully that they'll go back to their glory, and that's where I'm going to end up, I think, because there's a horse here that actually beat one of my horses before, Billy Bowlegs. There's a horse running here called Son of Raj, and I was quite taken by his last win, to be honest. And if whatever Tony's done is maybe taken a bit longer to get this horse to find his way again, you know. But his last 3 starts have been okay, to be honest. And Gavin kept the ride at Lance's Soccershop.bet. Have got Son of Roger around about the 7-1 mark. I think he's a nice each way. I like Purple Picture. The only question I have about Purple Picture is they ran it in blinkers for the first time last time out, and he ran a good race. Now, if it was just a prep run and to give him the feel for the blinkers, and they were happy with the run, then he'd be right there in the firing line at the end. So, from an exotics perspective, I'd only put in probably 2 horses, 2 and 4, and hopefully they'll fight it out again. yeah, that's my take on the Premier's Challenge. Right, race 9. The Derby. I got a feeling we are going to have opinions galore here. Lance, what don't you like? I've got a feeling you don't like something here. I don't know why.
I don't like the favourite immediate edge. I don't like it at all.
Oh, geez. And for those watching, we genuinely don't discuss this before we do this. We come in here ice cold. But KYC, know your customer. And I had a feeling Lance was going to say something along those lines. Go on.
The last run, they finished 8 lengths clear of the third horse. Wild Intent and Immediate Edge. He can't beat Wild Intent on the 3 kilo pool based on that run alone. But that's the reason for me not liking it. And I see we got 20. What do we got? 5-2. I think the
5
trade's
to 2,
18.
Lance.
The trade is 18-10. So I'm kind of putting my money where my mouth is. I think the quality of horses and the better quality of horse comes in the form of 1 and 2. I know I've tipped this horse a million times, Legend of Arthur, but in my mind, I've always seen him as a Derby horse. So I'm going to respect him and give him one more chance. If he flops on Saturday, then he's going to need to be gelded, but it's not my decision to make anyway. But I think this is his final chance to show what I think he's been crying for, the 2-4-50. I do respect Wild Intent on the 3 kilo pool with Immediate Edge, but my clear second choice is Parisian Walkway. So I see it as 2-1 and possibly 6. I really don't like Immediate Edge.
Cool.
And that's how I see it.
Well, Lance, I'm going to agree with you as well.
Eish.
Immediate Edge has had 3 runs, 3 wins. So, I mean, you can't really go against a horse like that. But I don't think he's beaten. He's obviously last time he beat Wild Intent, but Wild Intent seems to just be just below the top horse. I'm not saying that these are the best horses in the country either, but it's almost like the merit rating tells you that the fields that he's been running against, he hasn't run to a top rating, if you want to put it that way.
Not as strong as 1 and 2 in the merit rating division.
Yes. So to me, Legend of Arthur, I've ridden him. As much as you try and get him to jump well, he doesn't want to jump. And then he takes a bit and he wants to run right over the horse's heels. He wants to run over them if he could. So he's actually a dangerous horse to ride. In this 2,450, Richard's probably going to have to settle him, and he's probably going to come from tailed off. Because he's a stayer, he might wear them down at the end. But I think the horse that's got the form and it's got a nice draw and he races from quite handy. And apparently, I spoke to some of the jocks. He's working exceptionally well. So he's fit. Parisian Walkway, I think, is a horse you could even consider bankering. I think he's going to be hard to beat. He's got a lot of things in his favor. Parisian Walkway, my first fancy.
And I reckon I can twist both of your guys' heads because I have found a horse here that I can't believe Lance and them have got at 11-1. Weight stop strains, boys, 2,450 meters, Olivia's Way, carrying only 57.5. The fact that they've considered running this filly from draw 1 in the Derby against Colts tells me that what we've seen before her do, she's got the ability to do. And
She was in the fillies race, but she had a shocking draw.
okay, but you still got, I mean, you're taking on Colts, right? So we know that she stays. Listen, she's run behind some really good horses. World of Alice, Fiery Pegasus has beaten her twice. We know what Fiery Pegasus is capable of doing. Fiery Pegasus was only beaten 1.9 lengths by Spunmante Dolce. And that horse is running earlier in the day. At 11-1, in my exotics, I'd only put 2 horses, 1 and 13. But as a punter, I'd be having a few each ways for sure on Olivia's way. The 2.5
She's,
kilos might just make the
she's
difference.
definitely not without a chance. The fillies, the 3-year-old fillies, I've said for
Yeah,
ages, are better than the 3-year-old colts. So
yeah,
it's quite a shrewd move. I knew in my heart she wasn't ready for her last run. Came too soon after a bit of a rest, and she ran a good second. So I think she's going to love the extra.
yeah,
She is running against the Colts, but for that she's getting her allowance.
yeah,
And I wouldn't be surprised to see her there, Joe. I don't think it's a Hiroshimic result by any
yeah.
stretch of the imagination.
100%, 100%. And then can we discard Grey Jet? I'm just saying. I mean, hasn't really done anything wrong. It's been there or thereabouts, got a high merit rating.
Again, the Confederate form line. If I'm
Yeah,
going to play against the Confederate form
fair
line,
enough.
it's going to come up the race before. And if I'm wrong and that horse wins, then you've got to respect Grey Jet. That's just how the game works. It
100%.
may be a very strong form line, and I'm just saying it isn't, and it might prove me wrong early.
Yeah,
Then you have to
absolutely.
respect it. But by that time, the exotics have come and gone.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the Bridget Oppenheimer, SA Oaks, grade 2 for fillies. And Lance, you've got a horse in the race. So you might as well
She's a
go
very
first then.
nice horse. She's a lovely horse. Warren's always thought that this is her trip. This is what she'd be looking for. She's doing really well at home. Kamala's on her. If Kamala doesn't ride her, I'm hoping Piere rides her. But having said that, how do you reverse the form with Fiery Pegasus?
Yeah, 11 lengths. Sure.
Yeah, how do you do that? So we're hoping for Black Type. We really are. We know that she's good, and we know that she's going to keep maturing. But it's a race where, if we run a place, we'll be over the moon. Very hard to beat the 1. I don't see how we're going to beat that. I respect the horses in the betting. As they bet in, I respect the 1, the 2, and pretty much the rest are going to be fighting it out. I think Sean's got a strong hand here. 2 and 7 are both going to have chances. I think the 7, Coco Mellon's going to love the extra, much like my horse, Care Forgot. So I think it's a matter of who's going to fill the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position, because it's going to be very hard to beat the favorite on just what we saw the other day.
Yeah. Pierre?
Yeah, actually very simple. If Fiery Pegasus comes to the racecourse, no issues, no problem. She should win. She beat the same horses last time with ease. It was a soft going that day. Actually yielding. So I think that's worse than soft. And that means she should stay the distance. Very hard to beat. If you want to add one horse because she doesn't run to her best form, maybe Will of Alice. But yeah, they are ahead of the field.
Yeah, listen, she's rated 119. The next one down is World of Alice, rated 108, and they're racing off levels.
Listen, if they run off their ratings, I'll be over the moon. I'm going to run 4th.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, you guys have got her just under 4 to 10, 3.5, 7 to 20, or 3.5 to 10. That's probably the right price. She did win easy last time out, and as a result of winning easy, they hiked her up 4 points. Look, horses on that day, I'm not sure that the form is going to totally stand up, but in this particular case, I can't see how this filly gets beat. So yeah. I think we're all in agreement.
Unless she doesn't stay, which is unlikely, because her half-brother Sean trained. He won the Derby.
Yeah,
His name escapes me. You'll pick it up on form grids. It was a top horse of Sean's. He won the Derby.
I'll tell you now.
And so the stamina is there. There's no dispute in the stamina.
Yeah, no, 100%.
But again, it's 2-4-50, whether she takes to it, whether the same horse arrives.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of ifs and buts. But just on what we can see, she's going to be a hell of a horse to beat. Going to be very difficult to beat.
Correct.
But the horses that can beat her are Coco Mellon, World of Alice, and I seriously think Care Forgot's going to run a decent race. So I'm excited.
Well, let's hope she runs well for you. Right, let's move on to race 11, guys. Last, before we do race 11, Viewers, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching. Lance, tell us about the offer that you guys have got.
Joey, there's a, let me just get it up. So keep talking. Let me just get it up.
Shall I sing?
My son Adam sent it on the podcast group. Just a second. The promotion, minimum qualifying amount, 50 Rand for matched bonus. Okay.
Okay.
Up to 7.5 grand.
Okay.
On the promotion, there's obviously T's and C's, but all those things are there to be read. But for the new clients that are looking to get involved in gaming and looking to have a bit of a flutter, take up this opportunity, because if you put in 7.5 grand, we're going to match it, or up to 7.5 grand.
Okay.
And you can play the entire casino. There's no restrictions. Casinos, sportsbook, horse racing, it's all in there. And remember, you keep your money doubles, you turn it over, and eventually it becomes yours. And
Perfect.
I think it's something that people could have fun with.
Okay, thank you. We'll put it in the T's and C's above. Right. Piere, tell us what's going to win the Hawaii Stakes.
Well, this is not a handicap. It's set weights. Best weighted horse is Main Defender. He's got everything held on form. There's a line as well with Main Defender and Barbaresco. And then there's another form run, Cosmic Speed and Barbaresco.
Yeah.
On that run, on those two runs, Main Defender has Cosmic Speed beaten. But if you remember last time Cosmic Speed ran, we tipped Cosmic Speed to win. Because we got the info, working very well, good horse, and we got the info. But I'm going to go with,
from who?
I'm not telling you. So the horse with the best form, best weighted, best draw, Main Defender, 1400 is his game. Hard to beat, number one, Main Defender.
Lance?
Maybe I should stay home on Saturday. It looks like me, eh? Yo, all these favourites. But having said that, Main Defender, 5 runs at the track, 4 wins, track and distance. I agree with Piere. He's much better over the 1400. I think he's a really, really top horse. The arena's in form, the stable's in form. But I don't make him overs. I really respect this young horse of Sean's, Cosmic Speed. I think he's a top horse. And I know there were excuses last run for Main Defender. And I know he's better off at the weights, but I think he'll have a race on his hands. He must probably get up and win because, you know, he just loves the course. He loves the distance, and he's got a lot going for him. But I think Cosmic Speed and Barbaresco are going to make him run to the line. That's my opinion. I don't see past that. They'll all reverse the form with Texas Red. That I have no doubt. So in my opinion, 172 or 712.
Okay. So there's quite a lot of pace in this race, you know. That horse Fire and Flames likes to go forward properly. Sorry, not Fire and Flames, I beg your pardon. Texas Red. Texas Red likes to go forward. Barbaresco likes to go forward. There's quite a bit of pace in this race. And I actually thought that this was another master stroke by the Aussies here. 52.5 kilos, no weight on its back, and I would not leave Gimme Fabulous out of your trifectas. Definitely not. Clearly a filly on the up. But I do think in this case, the trifecta will be 1, 7, and 9. With all this pace in the race, I think Main Defender will beat Cosmic Speed, and maybe Gimme Fabulous will run third. But if it's a tactical, sprinty type of race, then it's going to be tough. And I think Cosmic Speed might just get the edge on Main Defender. But for me, 1, 7, and 9.
For me, 9's not in the race.
Okay. Well, we've had that opinion before from you, and you've been right. Sometimes you've been wrong.
Yeah, of course. That's why we do what we do.
Right. Let's go. We're nearly in the home. Well, we're in the home straight. The last race of the day, and Soccershop.bet have got Poets Warrior up at 33 to 10, Marauding Horde 5 to 1, My Soulmate 5 to 1, United Council 7 to 1, Breeze over 8 to 1, 20 Drachmas 9 to 1, 10 to 1 and better, the rest. The Craddock Gold Cup over 2,850 meters. Interesting race to end the day. It's a fantastic day. Look, it's a great day overall. Piere, you want to go first?
Yeah, sorry, what betting is Explosive Bond?
Explosive Bond is a nice price.
10 to 1.
Yeah, 14 to 1, Piere. Wrong
Yeah,
price.
that's my little roughie. Because it's not a handicap, it's a plate race, and she's well handicapped. She's amongst the better ones handicapped, yeah.
Yes.
The last run she obviously ran nowhere, but it was a 1400, was a prep run. And then Rachel Venneker takes a kilo off. She's not going to claim the full 1.5, but she's going to claim a kilo.
Yes.
Still, extra kilogram over this distance, will help a lot. So in a tricky race, I'm going to favor Explosive Bond. I'm going to go with My Soulmate and Marauding Horde and Poet's Warrior as the ones chasing her home.
Okay. Lance?
I like My Soulmate very, very much here, guys. I think it's a hard horse to beat in an open race. 55.5 kilos. She's coming straight back to form. We'll know how good the form is. Son of Raj wins the big race, then this horse won't be 4-5 to 1, I promise you. And I definitely respect the bottom weight of Explosive Bond, only because of the lightweight. I think it's going to appreciate it. And as Piere says, over this type of trip, weight is going to be key. So the 1 and the 2, the one's carrying a lot of pudding. I know it's a top stayer, but it's a lot of pudding. It's giving a lot of weight away. So I see the races between 6, my first choice by some distance, to be honest, and 12 as a nice lightweight to follow it home.
And I agree with Lance wholeheartedly. I think the fillies allowance over this distance brings the 2 fillies into this race. That's My Soulmate and Explosive Bond. Robbie Sage has got United Council in the race, a mare. Also weighted correctly. I think the fillies will win this race. If you're going to have a bet for me, I've given Explosive Bond so many shout-ups in the past, and she hasn't delivered. Obviously, there's been excuses, and there's nothing wrong with her, but I think, Sage has got this horse, United Council in good form, and Candace's yard is in reasonable form with Ryan Munger. I think the fillies will dominate. So in the lucky last, if you need to get out of it, you want to have to choose one of those. I'm going to end up going with My Soulmate as my first choice, but I think the fillies will dominate. I can't have Poet's Warrior. I can't have Marauding Horde. I can't have any of the other horses. I think it's a fillies race. That's it.
I agree.
That's it. Okay, guys. Well, listen, it's a great day we've got to look forward to. It's been a long podcast. We have 12 races to do. Thanks for watching all of it. Many of you do watch all of it. Piere, thanks for that nice shirt.
I'm on holiday.
Oh, brilliant. Lance, thank you very much. Have
Thanks,
a good one.
guys. It was great. Take care.
Cheers. Bye-bye.